All right, we're back. This is the third time I'm recording because I keep pressing spacebar and it stops recording. Anyways, this is a dark song. Um, Immortal Technique. It's very dark. Be careful. It has RAPE stuff in it. I know other YouTubers talk about that shit, and then they censor themselves because YouTube has this algorithm stuff. So, anyways, I don't give. This is very dark song. It's a very dark story. Immortal Technique. I think he's Cuban. I'm not sure. Don't shoot me. But I think he is. I've been listening to this guy for like, what, 15, 20 years. I haven't heard a lot of his stuff because he's a very underground rapper. He just comes out with mixtapes and stuff. But he drops knowledge, alright? He's anti-capitalism. He's anti-establishment. And, dude, this is his most famous song. You probably heard of it. But if you haven't, man, get ready for a wild fucking ride and dark shit, man. This is gonna shock you. I've never seen the video though. I don't know where this video is from. Is this an official video? I don't think so.
I once knew a nigga whose real name was William. His primary concern was making $1 million, being the illest hustler that the world ever seen. He used to fuck movie stars and sniff coke in his dreams. A corrupted young mind at the age of 13. Nigga never had a father and his mom was a fiend. She put the pipe down, but for every year she was sober, her son's heart simultaneously grew colder. He started hanging out, selling bags in the project.
So he's talking about this dude from a broken family and all about the money, dreaming about the money, gonna do anything for that money.
Checking the young chicks looking for hit and run prospects. He was fascinated by material objects, but he understood money never bought respect. He built a reputation because he could hustle and steal, but got locked once and didn't hesitate to squeal. So criminals he chilled with didn't think he was real. You see, me and niggas like this have never been equal. I don't project my insecurities on other people. He fiended for props like addicts with pipes and needles, and so he felt he had to prove to everyone he was evil. A feeble-minded young man with infinite potential, the product of a ghetto-bred capitalistic mental. Coincidentally,
see, this dude is super anti-capitalism, man, and I can't fucking disagree with him either, man. Money fucking corrupts a lot of people's fucking mentality. You're chasing the wrong things. This guy preaches that shit, man. He's like, fuck that. Why you doing
school to sell weed, dancing with the devil, smoked until his eyes would bleed. But he was sick of selling trees and gave in to his greed.
Dancing with the devil, man. Don't dance with the devil, dude.
Everyone trying to be trife, never face the consequences.
You gonna know.
You probably only did a month for minor offenses. Ask a nigga doing life if he had another chance. But then again, there's always the wicked that knew in advance. Dance forever with the devil on a cold cell block. But that's what happens when you rape, murder, and sell rock. Devils used to be gods, angels that fell from the top. There's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot.
There's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot. We're all the same in the end, right? There's no diversity because capitalism, everybody's greedy as fuck. We're all the same now because of capitalism. We're all chasing that money. There's no diversity. We're burning in that capitalistic melting pot. I think that's what he's trying to say.
So Billy started robbing niggas, anything he could do to get his respect back in the eyes of his crew. Starting fights over little shit up on the block. Stepped up to selling mothers and brothers to crack rock. Working overtime, making money for the crack spot. Hit the jackpot and wanted to move up to cocaine. Fulfilling the Scarface fantasy stuck in his brain. Tired of
we all know that, man. Everybody's seen Scarface, man. I know everybody who watches rap has seen Scarface, and these guys big up the Tony Montana and all that lifestyle. Everybody talks about that, all their songs. Even Tupac did, man. Everybody does, so everybody chases that fucking dream to achieve that level of fucking don't give a fuck money and just dealing whatever the fuck, not giving a fuck about consequences. That whole Tony Montana lifestyle.
The block niggas treating him the same.
Trying to make it big.
Major like the cutthroats and the thugs. But when he tried to step to him, niggas showed him no love. They told him any motherfucking coward can sell drugs. Any bitch nigga with a gun can bust slugs. Any nigga with a red shirt can front like a blood.
Yeah, he switched up. Do you see how the music switched up, man? It's getting more serious, dude. It's getting more sinister. Fucking the way the music switched up.
Any
Watch.
nigga with a red shirt can front like a blood. Even Puffy smoked the motherfucker up
The
in
violence
club,
have
but
come
only
in
a real
suddenly.
thug can stab someone till they die, standing in front of them, staring straight into their eyes. Billy realized that these men were well guarded, and they wanted to test him before business started. Suggested raping
Murder.
a bitch to prove he was cold-hearted. So now he had a choice between going back to his life or making money with made men. Up in the sight, his dreams about cars and ice made him agree a hardcore nigga is all he ever wanted to be. And so he met them
He
Friday
wants to
night
be
at a
like
quarter
that.
to 3.
2:45, middle of the night, huh? They tested
Everyone
him.
trying to be trife never face the consequences. You probably only did a month for minor offenses. Ask a nigga doing life if he had another chance. But then again, there's always the wicked that knew in advance. Dance forever with the devil on a cold cell block. But that's what.
Oof, this chorus hits hard, man. A lot of these people trying to be whoever they want to be, like try to do all this shit, but they only done a month for minor offenses. Then you ask a dude who's locked up for life if he would do it again. But then again, that dude knew what he was getting into, man. They knew it beforehand, and they took the
What
risk.
happens when you rape, murder, and sell rock? Devils used to be gods, angels that fell from the top. There's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot.
There's no diversity. We're all the same. Capitalistic minded, no matter where you're
They drove around
from.
the project slow while it was raining, smoking
Oh,
blunts,
shit.
drinking, and
See?
joking
Again,
for
the music changed up.
entertainment until they saw a woman on the street walking alone, 3 in the morning, coming back.
Guys, please, if you have a weak heart and weak stomach, man, and don't like talking about RAPE, and this shit's about to get really fucking dark, man. I can't stomach this shit. I love this song, but this part is just.
Back from work on the way home, and so they quietly got out the car and followed her. Walking through the projects, the darkness swallowed her. They wrapped their shirt around their head and knocked her onto
So they're testing Billy right now to RAP this a person,
the
you know,
floor.
random
This
person.
is it, kid. Now you got your chance to be raw. So Billy yoked her up and grabbed the chick by the hair and dragged her into a lobby that had nobody there. She struggled hard, but they forced her to go up the stairs. They got to the roof and then held her down on the ground, screaming, "Shut the fuck up and stop moving around." The shirt covered her face, but she screamed and clawed. So Billy stomped on the bitch till he broke in her jaw. Them dirty.
I'll just say one thing: Immortal raps about fucking whatever the fuck is actually happening. This shit happens, man. This type of shit happens, dude. And it's hard to talk about this shit, but he's fucking. Immortal's fucking crazy, man. This is why he never became mainstream, because he just speaks his mind, man. He tells you reality, man, the real world and shit. He doesn't conform to these Grammy-winning motherfuckers, man. He talks real shit, and that's why he never went mainstream. He never gave into the capitalism bullshit, man. He never sang or rapped about whatever the fuck they tell you to rap about. He raps about message, man. You know, whatever he feels is in his heart. He's a fucking proper. This is why I respect Mortal, man.
Bastards knew exactly what they were doing. They kicked her until they cracked her ribs and she stopped moving. Blood leaking through the cloth, she cried silently. And then they all proceeded to rape her violently. Billy was made to go first, but each of them took a turn, ripping her up and choking her until her throat burned. A broken jaw mumbled for God, but they weren't concerned when they were done and she was lying bloody broken and
A mumbled jaw. What? A mumbled jaw asked for God? Mumbled jaw
a
prayed.
broken jaw mumbled for God, but
A broken jaw mumbled for
they
God.
weren't concerned when they were done and she was lying bloody broken and bruised. One of them niggas pulled out a brand new 22. They told him that she was a witness for what she'd gone through, and if he killed her, he was guaranteed a spot in the crew. He thought about it for a minute. She was practically dead, and so he leaned over and put the gun right to her head.
They're gonna make him kill her. You gone too far. I'm falling, but I can't turn back. I don't know who sang this. That shit is deep.
Right before he pulled the trigger and ended her life, he thought about the cocaine with the platinum and ice, and he felt strong standing along with his new brothers. Cocked the gat to her head and pulled back the shirt cover, but what he saw made him start to cringe and stutter, cause he was staring into the eyes of his own mother. She looked back at him and cried cause he had forsaken her. She cried more painfully, and when they were raping her, his whole world stopped. He couldn't.
She cried more painfully when they were, doing that. because she saw her own son. Fuck, man, fuck. The only reason he... Okay, I'm going to talk about it in the end.
Even
Let's just go.
contemplate his corruption had successfully changed his fate, and he remembered how his mom used to come home late, working hard for nothing, cause now what was he worth? He turned away from the woman that had once given him birth, and crying out to the sky cause he was lonely and scared, but only the devil responded cause God wasn't there. And right then he knew what it was to be
He sold his soul, man.
And so he jumped off the roof and died with no soul. They say death takes you to a better place, but I doubt it. After that they killed his mother and never spoke about it. And listen, cause the story that I'm telling is true, cause I was there with Billy Jacobs and I raped his mom too, and now the devil follows me.
Fuck. Okay, you know, I think he just did this for shock value. Obviously, I don't think Immortal's a fucking, you know, he's telling a story from a perspective of a person who was part of the whole thing, right? So that's why, like, obviously Immortal didn't do that shit, but it's more of a shock value, right? Because he's like, I've been there, I did that shit.
Everywhere that I go, in fact, I'm sure he's standing among one of you at my shows. In every street cipher, listening to little thugs flow. He could be standing right next to you, and you wouldn't know. The devil grows inside the hearts of the selfish and wicked. White, brown, yellow, and black color is not restricted. You have a self-destructive destiny when you're inflicted. White.
Ooh. There it is. That's my favorite line. I always have a favorite line from every fucking song. This is my favorite line right here, man.
Brown, yellow, and black color is not restricted. You have a self-destructive destiny when you're
You have a self-destructive destiny when you were inflicted.
And you'll be one of God's children that fell from the top. There's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot. So when the devil wants to dance with you, you better say never. Because a dance with the devil might last you forever.
Salute to this guy, man. Dude, if you haven't heard Immortal Technique, you need to check him out, man. He speaks, he raps about some real shit, man. You know, even though the story was made up, or I don't know if obviously I think it's made up story anyways, right? This could have happened, it's plausible, right? But he gave the story to give you a message like, look, that shit adds up. You dance with the devil, you keep dancing with the devil, it's gonna last you forever. It's gonna just keep going, going and going. There's no end to that shit, man. That dance doesn't end until you end. The end is right there, see? So anyways, man, I hope you give Immortal Technique some chance. Listen to him if you've never heard him. There's a bunch of other songs that really good. Even I've fallen off because I haven't heard him because he's not mainstream, so I have not been listening to him for like what, it's been a decade now, man. He had a few other good songs. There's another really good one that I will show you guys. I will react to that. I forgot. I think I like that one even more than this one. I have to find that. I forgot what the name was, but yeah, I'm gonna find that. Anyways, let me stop. Blah blah blah. Thank you for watching, and like, share, subscribe, blah blah blah. Please subscribe or comment, man. I love your comments. A lot of people, I love when people comment, man. I love when they actually heard this reaction. They're like giving me some tips or giving some insight and correcting me when I didn't know about that song, some things about the song. I love that shit, man. So if you know something more, let me know, man. I love reading your comments. Anyways, that's it for me. Peace.